Talk about picking your moment. Provoking a pay row with your shareholders in the middle of a general election campaign in which the Labour Party has zeroed in on income inequality looks crass, so Bovis Homes Group's executives shouldn't be surprised if a few arrows are fired in their direction by would-be MPs early next week. Bovis's enlarged incentives look suspiciously like a case of bosses being rewarded simply for doing a deal. Its £1.1 billion takeover of Galliford Try's house building arm. At a febrile time in the executive pay debate, though, not every target looks so well judged. Take Whitbread, the premier and owner, which faces scrutiny at next week's extraordinary general meeting to approve a remuneration policy containing a chunk of restricted stock for executive directors. The proxy advisor Glass Lewis is endorsing the move, but rival ISS has recommended that shareholders vote against it because the discount to Whitbread's existing long-term incentive plan, LTIP, is inadequate. ISS's judgment looks flawed, though. Boss Alison Britton's overall pay, which is already at the lower end of her peer group, is coming down under the proposed policy, both through a reduction in her pension allowance and LTIP. Investors who want Whitbread to keep her following the bumper sale of Costa Coffee to the Coca-Cola Company are unhappy about that. I also understand that Whitbread is proposing the adoption of restricted stock at the explicit request of some of its major shareholders. The long-term deployment of capital required to take new hotels from conception to operation makes conventional 3-year LTIPs unsuited to its business model. Restricted stock removes the invidious problem of retaining executives who feel underpaid during difficult periods, while reducing the risk of outsized payouts at other times. We are very supportive of restricted shares as aligning management to focus on the long-term sustainable growth of the company through building a significant shareholding over time, and in preference to complex LTIP scorecards with multiple objectives, said Richard Buxton, the head of UK equities at Merian Global Investors. But restricted share schemes have to be part of a genuine change of mindset towards long-term incentives and not simply a means to de-risk existing levels of remuneration. I understand that other blue-chip companies are consulting with investors about issuing restricted stock in their forthcoming pay policies. Most institutions agree that the existing framework of LTIPs has produced perennially unsatisfactory results. At Whitbread and elsewhere, restricted stock's time has come. A secure legacy at G4S? Like a frantic bout of festive house cleaning ahead of an unwanted visit from judgmental in-laws, there are plenty of FTSE 350 chairmen with a sudden need to spruce up their legacy. The inclusion of chairs within guidance that they see. For more on this story, visit the news article link.